All right. What's happening? What's happening? Still a faithful, still a nation, still a family. How's everybody doing on this Saturday evening? I guess you could say evening. It's about 4 o'clock, 4:09. So I guess we're creeping more into the evening as opposed to afternoon. I don't know. But I hope you all are having a great day, great evening, whatever. This is going to be brief. It's going to be very brief. Let me pull up my notes, guys. Hold on, give me a second. Very brief indeed, this will be. Okay. First of all, how's everybody doing? Let's say hello to some of the early commenters. Mark Cunningham, I'll read your comment. He says, yo, Sim, still a nation. It's the fourth quarter of the last preseason game, and I literally can't get my wife to stop freaking screaming at the TV as the Lions take the lead, cussing and fussing like crazy. Well, first of all, let me give a shout out to Mrs. Cunningham. Hello, Miss Lady there. We appreciate you going off, screaming and cussing and yelling, even in preseason. That's a trooper right there. That's a keeper. Part of the reason why you are Mrs. Cunningham, I would assume. No, I'm just playing. But Derek Moore, Mark Malone. Oh, here you go. Mark Malone says, can Tomlin win a postseason game sometime this decade? Already in rare form. What's going on, Mark? CT Pittman, Leonard Green. Hello, Lanisha, the lovely Lanisha. Hello, Lanisha. Happy to see you. Appreciate you tuning in like you always do. Jack Bauer, Wide Diggy, my man. Did I say Derek Moore already? Derek Moore. I guess we'll leave it right about there, man. I know, listen, it's Saturday. I know a whole lot of you guys and gals are not sitting here watching me. You're out and about, you're shopping, or you're at Target, or, you know, you're eating out, whatever you're doing. I don't know. So for those of you who are here, we're going to make this short and sweet, quick and brief, and we'll get to it. Only thing I will say, man, listen, I'm not going to say that. Everybody have your own opinions about the team and whatever. All I'm saying is that for those of us in the fan base that all we do is fuss and complain about everything, whether it's the coach or the team, I don't know how you have any type of enjoyment watching the Steelers, being a Steelers fan. I don't know. But hey, if that's how you choose to get through it, shout outs to you. But all right, man, real quick, let's do what we always do, man. You know, we are in preseason as well, but we're getting ramped up, getting ready for the official season. So like we always will do, we'll talk about the opening drive and series, so both offense and defense. The Steelers did get the ball first. There was a 5-yard gain by Najee Harris on first down. Right after that, play action pass on second down, where George Pickens was whoa, did I say Pickett? Whoa, don't want to do that. Don't want to have that nightmare. But George Pickens was ruled down at the 39-yard line, at their own 39-yard line. At that point, it was a loss of 6 yards. You know, it was a play action, and it was kind of dumping it down to George Pickens in the flats. Brought up a 3rd and 11, and then Russell Wilson was able to find George Pickens for a 31-yard gain. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. What else? Right after that, there was a loss of 1 yard with a quick toss to Patterson. And then a Cordero Patterson on second down and 11. He takes it in from 30 yards out, a 30-yard run. Outstanding blocking on that play. And the Steelers go up 7-0. Defensively, Patrick Queen. I notated this. Patrick Queen stopped a first down on 2nd and 2. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was 2nd and 2, and Patrick Queen really showed his speed and sideline-to-sideline playability, and, you know, he flashed that a little bit as he showed that sideline-to-sideline, and we basically forced them, I believe, at that point into a 3rd and 1 defense with a sneaky blitz. I notated this sneaky blitz where I saw we blitzed Nick Herbig up the middle. Herbig got through, but we were unable to get the stop. They were able to convert. But I thought that was a very sneaky way of getting pressure up the middle with Herbig and not a middle linebacker. So Steelers throwing a different look out there. But then Nick Herbig comes right back, man, and he gets a sack on the very next play, forced a 2nd and 16. Then on 2nd and 16, Keanu Benton gets a sack, forced a 3rd and 24. And then Herbig gets a sack fumble and forces a turnover, all in that same possession. Outstanding series by the defense, and I wrote here literally, Nick Herbig is a problem. I'm no longer going to say he's going to be a problem. Okay, let's see it in the regular season, but we saw in the regular season last year in his limited time, limited action, he made something happen. This kid is going to be special, man. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Nick Herbig. So after that, I'll just give you guys a really quick, man, offensive recap, if you will. Just a few things that I wrote down. First of all, Justin Fields came in rather early, picks up a 3rd and short, using that zone read. I like that. That was on the 2nd possession of the game. Also showed a design run on that same possession, a design run where they kind of went 4 wide, if you will. They brought a guy in motion, and then Justin Fields ran towards the boundary. Didn't really get much there, but again, it's just something to keep an eye on. That it just goes to show you that with Justin Fields in the game, Arthur Smith already has some tools in his tool bag, right? Not just zone read, design runs, it looks like. So already we've seen at least 3 examples where we can run zone read action, we can do boot action off of the play action, and then now a design run by Justin Fields. And this is exactly what I hope we see throughout the season, regardless of who ends up being the starter. I need to see Justin Fields come in from time to time, particularly in short yardage situations, goal-to-goal situations, where he could put the stress on that defense. So it was good to see those things. And we ran that design run. It was like 1st and goal from the 2. But again, the Lions defense did a good job of kind of snuffing it out. But again, make notation and pay attention to the fact that we ran that. All right. After that, I said we followed it up with another zone read to Perine for the touchdown. So in case some of you guys didn't realize that was again a zone read, giving Justin Fields as the quarterback the option to give to the back or pull and run. But again, I want to emphasize the stress that it puts on the defense. When you have a dual threat quarterback and not just a guy that can drop back, take off and run, but when he's legit, a run can be a run first option, meaning keep it or hand off, you're going to put stress on the defense. And now Pittsburgh has that at their arsenal as well, so at their disposal. So keep an eye on that. A couple other offensive recaps I had here. At that point, the Steelers were up 14-0. Miscommunication, man. There was a miscommunication with Zach Frazier and Justin Fields. Technically, you would say there's 2 fumbles. 3. I guess you would say 3 because it was 2 in that one game. But there's 3 fumbles now with some type of QB and quarterback exchange. We've seen it now both under the center and in shotgun. It's not good. Looks like Zach Frazier snapped the ball a bit early as Justin Fields was doing a little motion with his hand there. I don't know who it was on, but it definitely looked like Zach Frazier was under the impression that the ball should go now. So I would think maybe it may have been Justin Fields, but I have no way of confirming that. Maybe they'll say. But either way, definitely not something that you want to see. Whether whose fault it was, we don't always know, but it just doesn't look good to say. In preseason, in the snaps that he's had, there have been 3 exchange situations with him and the center. Now, granted, the last time I think it was Nate Herbig and not Frazier, but got to pay attention to that. Also, a guy like Dez Fitzpatrick. Okay, nice catch down the sideline, nice throw as well from the QB. But I just wrote notation here that Dez Fitzpatrick is trying to make this team. And I think it's going to come down to whether or not the Steelers are going to keep 6 receivers as opposed to 5. So this is going to be interesting. We'll see. Because the only guys that you can consider to be a lock, I'm sure, is, obviously George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Johnson. After that, who am I missing? Roman Wilson is going to make the team. Who am I missing? So I said Pickens, Jefferson, Austin, Wilson. Yeah, I'm not sure who the 5th and 6th guy would be. So I don't know. Maybe Dez Fitzpatrick can make it as the 5th guy. Is Scotty Miller going to make it? Guys like that. And actually, let me take a look, guys. Give me a second here. I'm going to see. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Let me look at the roster. I feel like I'm missing somebody. And I don't quite know who it is. Let's see. All right, let me see. Let's take a look at the roster. Let's see, good people. Position, wide receiver. Yeah, Wilson, Pickens, Jefferson, Austin. Yeah. So the 5th spot is up for grabs. Because like I said, after you get past George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, and Roman Wilson, maybe Dez Fitzpatrick slides into that 5th spot. We'll see. So it's going to be either him and Scotty Miller as 5 and 6, or because the only other competition he has Deuce Watts, Quez Watkins, Scotty Miller, Jerry Jenkins, some kid named Jacob Copeland. That's it. So yeah, Dez Fitzpatrick may very well make it, man. He may very well make it just as the 5th receiver. We shall see. All right, let's see what I have on defense, guys. Really, only notations I have. Well, I have a few. The front line was getting a lot of pressure. First couple series, that's what I paid attention to the most. The first 2 to 3 series, but definitely the first 1 and 2, because it was more starter-like guys out there. Even though guys like Joey Porter Jr. wasn't out there, it was still more of the front that you would expect to see, minus, obviously, a TJ Watt and a Alex Highsmith. I thought we were getting really good pressure, man, sometimes with just 4 down linemen. Whether that was in sub in most cases, but yeah, I thought we were getting good pressure with just the 4. And if we can continue stuff like that, again, if guys like TJ and Alex Highsmith and Cam Haywood, and then whoever else you throw in that rotation, if it's Benton or whoever, Ogunjobi, being able to get pressure with 4 does wonders. But I think they did a good job of that today. Again, I don't know how much of the starting line was there, but this is the thing. This is how I assess it, guys. I understand when maybe it's not ones against ones all the time, but I'm just looking at capability of player. Because if a player was struggling with someone that you are assuming is beneath them because of their depth chart position, then that's a bigger problem. So I want to see players do what they're supposed to do. Our starters weren't out there either. Because usually in sub, it's going to be Cam Haywood, Larry Ogunjobi, Alex Highsmith, and TJ Watt. The 4 of them weren't out there either. So I can definitely talk about the success of the guys who were playing against the guys in front of them. Great pressure with 4. And also, I said Austin, Terrell Austin was sending a lot of pressure. I saw a lot of blitzes today. A lot. So not only were we getting pressure, we were sending heat as well. So mixing some things up a bit defensively and not just comfortably sitting back in zone all the time. One notation I have here, I said Corey Trice was getting a lot of opportunities today. Played a lot. I saw Cam Sutton playing a lot of safety. Shout outs to Cam Sutton for getting an interception as well. But I saw him play safety a lot of times, particularly it looked like it may have been dime when he was doing that. But again, whenever he comes back, maybe Cam Sutton is more of the safety type guy at this stage of his career. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming he can still play the slot, but that does nothing for us because this guy's out for 8 games. Kyron Johnson, man. Kyron Johnson is super fast off the edge. If he could work on being able to get home more, because he's one of those guys that kind of just fly off the edge, and it allows the tackle to kind of realize how they need to set to just push them out. He doesn't finish. So if Kyron Johnson can find a way to finish and maybe reduce that width, use the burst but squeeze down a little bit and get closer to the QB, or make him step up in the pocket, he might be a force, because that dude's speed around the edge is crazy. And in case you don't know who Kyron Johnson is, he is wearing number 53. Number 53. Also, Julius, is it Welskoff? Is that how you say his name? The big guy, the 6'6" guy, number 48. Wearing that number 48. But he messed around and got himself a couple sacks today. And I don't know where he is on the depth chart. I really don't, guys, because, again, I don't know if they have Kyron Johnson ahead of him, if they have Jeremiah Moon ahead of him. I don't know. Obviously, the number 3 edge rusher will be Nick Herbig. So I don't know what happens with Welskoff. Maybe he ends up on the practice squad. I don't know. I don't know how the Steelers are seeing it. Like I said, from upside potential, Kyron Johnson looks like the better option now, just because he can produce pressure. He's just got to finish. Whereas Big Boy seems like he more so has to work to get pressure, if that makes sense. And then last but not least, man, I just wrote down here, why is Beanie Bishop getting so little reps? Why is that happening? Why is he not playing more? I'm not understanding what's happening there. We heard so much about Beanie Bishop, and I know he came back off an injury, but even he was saying himself he was looking forward to the day to actually getting out there and playing, but he's not running with the ones. He's playing later in the game. I think he didn't even play until the second half. But I understand, Terrell Austin earlier in the week was saying, kind of whoever shows up for the job is going to have it. But, Graham didn't fare well today. And I'm not looking for perfection with none of these guys. Again, guys are going to get beat and such. But Graham didn't do much for his case today. Missed a few tackles, But they had him running first team. Now, maybe is it because they're going to say maybe he did a decent job last week and he's kind of ahead of Beanie Bishop because of the injury situation? I don't know, but I don't like it, man. I don't like it that Bishop I don't like it. I don't like it that he didn't play a lot. And again, not a whole lot I could go off of his performance either in the second half, because didn't much happen in the second half in terms of the Steelers offense or defense. Couple things I want to mention, then I'm going to look at the chat. One of which, it was good to see Russell Wilson stand and deliver. To see Russell stand and deliver from the pocket, I really thoroughly enjoyed that, right? Because that offensive line showed up today in that early stint. And I know later on there was a sack given up, and I saw some people, one of those Steelers pages on Twitter saying, another bad rep by Broderick Jones. But that wasn't Broderick Jones' fault. You remember that sack that came from the left side? Broderick was playing right. Pretty much the whole line kind of got pushed back, but the left tackle got obliterated. I even saw, matter of fact, so I can have the name right. Hold on. Give me a second. I even saw Alex Kazur post out or tweet out who that was. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, guys. We're gonna put put a name on that bullet. Where was it? Because I actually responded to it. Where is it? It was. I might not find it. Yeah, I might not find it. Oh, here it is. Devery Hamilton in at left tackle. He says, not ideal blindside protector for Justin Fields. But like I said, people wanted to blame, I saw him already saying that was a Broderick Jones thing. And I'm like, and me personally watching that, the entire line kind of was back around Justin Fields. But, your boy, Broderick Jones did his kick step, and he already got himself back in position to kind of catch. That wasn't on him. That was on that other kid. But it was really good to see Russell Wilson, man, in the pocket, right? Because that has been one thing that we could say about Russell Wilson, even with all the admiration that I have in him as a whole. That's one thing you could definitely say the last few seasons is he moves around too much in the pocket, like, trying to move the pocket or kind of antsy back there and not standing in there and delivering. And I understand, he's not the biggest quarterback in terms of height, but also, if an offensive line is not giving you time, you might get a little antsy. But it was good to see that come together where Russell had all day to throw that ball. The blocking held up beautifully, and he placed it in a outstanding spot. Again, I don't care what people want to say about Russell Wilson. One thing that you can't really say about him is that he is not accurate when he throws deep down the field. Russell Wilson has an accurate throw, an accurate pass, dog. He puts the ball where it needs to be a lot when he shoots downfield. So it was beautiful to see that. And of course, shout outs to George Pickens. And then also, man, on the touchdown run, Sia Malu, with a nice block. And I'm assuming as well, I got to go back and look at it, but where that hole opened up, there has to be a combination of Frazier and Sia Malu to spring it. And Cordell Patterson, my bad. Yeah, I was sitting here on the show a week or two ago saying, doesn't do nothing for me. I ain't really trying to see him run the ball as a running back too often. Hey, the boy still got some pep in his step, don't he? I mean, he hit it and was out. He ain't look like an elder statesman in the league as far as the running back position. Nah, he hit that thing and was out of there. My bad, dog. I take it back. Good to see that, man. Really solid drives put together right there by the starting complement of players on offense. It was really good to see that. And we saw it with both Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And let me say this. Not only was we, running the zone read and stuff like that, Justin Fields improved that accuracy a bit this week. He was throwing some lasers out there on some of those throws. Okay. I'm feeling a lot better about the quarterback position, man, as far as the 1, 2, and 3. And even Kyle Allen, say what you will about him, but even he, isn't afraid to push that ball down the field. And he put the ball in some nice spots on both of those. Like I said, Dez Fitzpatrick trying to make a case to be on the team. He's already been working out at the gunner spots, but looked good on that deep ball. Like how he did the little subtle fight for the ball, little handsy, along with the DB, caught it, pushed him off him, got some yak. I see you, Dez. My bad, dog. But yeah, man. I like what I saw, man. That's all I can say. I like what I saw from the first team offense. They looked better. And again, the real test is going to be in the real game. But they looked a lot better. Way better than they have been looking. It still sucks, though. I still hate seeing that we don't win not one preseason game. And it's not about the record. You just want to see a victory. But we shall see. I don't like that 0-3, though. I really don't. One other thing I had, man, Mike Tomlin. Come in the office real quick. I know the season hasn't started yet, but I just got a quick question. Yeah, that's good. You don't have to peek your whole head. Just peek your head in. You don't have to come all the way in. Coach T, I just got a question. Listen, I'm one of the people that have continued to say that I think you are a good coach. a great coach, even in aspects. You have your faults like every other coach, but I think you have been a solid coach. You're a great leader of men. The players seem to want to play for you, regardless of what us fans think. You don't hear a bad word uttered about you. But I need to know what's going on with the challenges. What's going on? It's preseason, so this is the time for you to get yours off. You understand what I'm saying? Bust your gun. Try your hand in preseason where it don't count. That catch and fumble, and what was that? Right before, I got it noted. Hold on, I got it. I got the time too. It was right before the end of the third quarter. That was a fumble by the Detroit receiver. We should have challenged that. I don't think that guy's knee was down. Now, the angle that they showed us on TV, you couldn't necessarily see the other knee, but you did see it raise up when that ball came out. I'm just saying, it looked like it was a challengeable play. We would have got the ball in plush field position. I'm just saying, come on, coach. Come on, man. All right, that's all I got. But outside of that, guys, listen, I still have questions, man. I still don't know who is going to be the slot corner. I am scared. I am literally scared and shaking in my boots because I don't know who on week 1 will be the guy starting in the slot. Now, I'm assuming some of you guys might share this opinion. They might be going on the outside to get a slot corner. But based off of what we have and what we've seen, and again, I know the defense has played well this preseason largely when some of these guys are in there, but just watching that position, I just don't know. I don't feel comfortable with anybody that's in that spot. And Thomas Graham had some bad moments tonight with missing tackles and run fields and just being out of position. Didn't look good, but I can't wait to see the film on this one. And yeah, again, shout outs to Corey Trice, man. Corey Trice was out there playing quite a bit. I like to see that. I hope they are grooming him. Oh, like Kenyon just said that, he won't start this season, but in 2025. Yeah, I hope that's the plan, that they'll give him some looks. You can tell they're rotating him in there and dime and things like that. And maybe he'll be primed to take the job next year. So, good stuff right there. Nah, Jordan Mid, we ain't signing no Antoine Blake. Even though I remember that time Antoine Blake did get a pick 6 against the Chargers. I do remember that. He was a scrappy little dude, though, if you think about it. He wasn't a great cover man. But that's all I got, man. I'll be back with you guys on Tuesday. I'll sit here for a while, man. We'll spend a little bit of time. We're at about 28 minutes. What y'all got, man? Any thoughts, concerns, questions, complaints? Yeah, I don't think there were any injuries today. I don't recall. That there were any. Oh, except for Ryan Watt. Ryan Watts, man. I'm so glad I saw that kid get up. That looked bad, man. Anytime I see that, whether it's a Steeler player or when I'm watching other teams, it just takes me back to Ryan Shazier, man. Takes me back to Shazier, man. So hopefully he's okay. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Charles R. says, in regard to Beanie Bishop, Mike Tomlin said he hadn't worked a lot and you got to earn opportunity. Glad that he's healthy. Yeah, that's true. But that's the reason why, Charles, why I was saying, why is he not playing? Like, I get it, Coach T. I do. I definitely respect that. The position shouldn't be given to nobody. But this was the game to let him rock out. I would have had that boy playing pretty much the entire game in the slot because I need to see. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he's probably safe. He's probably safe as far as roster spot because there is not a lot of guys. But I need to see him play. He says, we wanted to give him an opportunity, but when you go in the game, and oftentimes it's a kind of a reflective of the work that you do leading up to the performance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, y'all help. Is it Watts or Watt? Because I know there's obviously TJ Watt, and there's another Watt on the team, and then there's a Watts. So I think Ryan's last name is Watts, plural. Jordan Miz says, you could argue that Watts, I thought he was a safety. Very true. Very true, because they did say that they were going to play him more so as a DB, right? Where he was safety capable, right? So you might see him at corner, you might see him at safety. So, yeah, that's what I thought. It's Watts with an S. Got it. Antoine Hill says, I hope Ryan is cool. I actually have him as starting slot next year. Possible. But he's a big boy, though, man. I think he like 6'3", you know? So, yeah, I think he's like 6'3". Yeah, that's what I thought too, fellas. It was Watts with an S. I just saw somebody write it here without the S, and I was like, well, let me question it, man. But what else y'all got, man? Give me something else really quick. Y'all know I'm pissed off right now. Some of y'all would know that. Kenya knows why. My nose took a L, man. Shout out to Georgia Tech, though, man. Florida State could not run the football at the times that they needed to. What else y'all got? Watts is a cornerback they're trying to revert like Sean Davis. Okay. Yeah, he's a big boy. To be 6'3", 2 plus, that's a big boy to be playing in the slot. Exactly, Kenyon. And that's what I heard, too, that he is more so groomed. They're grooming him to be a safety. And they've been said that. They kind of said that right after they got him, that they may be looking to have him play some safety duties. Yeah, it looked like a good game, Mark. It came down to the field goal. You can't be mad at that. It's just, come on, FSU. Y'all got to come out better than that, man, to start the season. But it is what it is. Anything else you guys got, man? Anything else before I wrap it up? Let me see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Well, football is here, guys. It is here. It is on and popping. Footy, football. We here. Can't wait for this season to start. We going to start on the road. And we go down to the A-Town. Dragon Jay-Z says, you think the Steelers going to take a quarterback in rounds 1 through 3 next year? All depends. I think it is very plausible to think that right at this moment. Rob G says, Rob O says, Plumlee should have got more reps. I wanted to see more of him because he has a lot of potential. Yeah, man, and I'm kind of with you there, Rob, because it definitely seems like that they've locked in on Kyle Allen to be the 3. You almost forgot that Plumlee even was a quarterback. As much as they had him doing other things, that's cool. It's cool that he's versatile to a Taysom Hill, if you will, but not the size of Taysom Hill. But I definitely did want to see him, more as a QB. Let's let him and Kyle Allen battle it out. But it definitely seems like that battle is over, and maybe Plumlee, sneaks on to the practice squad or something like that. We'll see. Here's the thing, too, guys. I want to say this. I did have another point. I got to be honest with y'all. And I'm going to try to say this as non-disrespectful as I can of the players. But looking at this Steeler roster, and not talking about how they perform and have performed in preseason, we only like 30, let me see, 11, it's 22. I feel like this team is only about 35 deep. Real talk. I think from 36 to 53, womp, 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 womp. For real, man. Nobody's impressing me. Nobody shows me like, ooh, he look like he got something. I'm just saying, think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Take away the starting offense and the starting defense. That's 22. Can you really identify, and I'm probably being nice, but can you identify 20 other players? 20 that you can say, yeah, I think there's something there. No. That's why I say I feel like they're about 35 deep. Real talk. And that's including guys like Benton, Herbig, P. Ryan. I think there might be something there with P. Ryan. That's including Russell or Fields, depending on who's going to be the number 2, which is more than likely Fields. That's including guys like Dez Fitzpatrick. That's about it, bro. I'm telling you. That's just my feeling right now. We like 35 deep. That's it. That's including guys like Chris Boswell, Cam Johnston. Why Diggy says there was not any real urgency with the back of the half of the roster. Yeah, man. It just don't feel like there's future guys there. I'm not feeling Mark Robinson anymore. I'm just not, man. He seemed like it was going to be quite a nice project. I ain't feeling homie. I'm not. That 35 is including guys like Peyton Wilson. Almost called him Willis. It's including guys like that. So again, think about what I'm saying. The starting O and the starting D, and that's 22. I say we about 35 deep. Dragon Z says, honestly, I don't have hope for the back of the roster guys since the Steelers have such a small coaching staff. Yeah, but that's a problem. This is what I'm saying. That is a problem. However we want to slice it, or however, wherever we want to place the blame, that is a problem. We should have some type of hope in the back end because guys get hurt. At this very moment, the only position that, and I'm not saying this to jinx anything, but the only couple positions that I'm like, okay, we might be all right if somebody get hurt is quarterback, middle linebacker, because, Peyton Wilson might come in there and do something, and edge. So let's say one of the big dogs go down. I got confidence in Nick Herbig. I might have a little confidence in Kyron Johnson as far as his step, if you could just teach him how to finish. But other than that, maybe running back, maybe. But I'm just saying, our depth ain't looking great. Definitely not on the O-line as far as the tackle spots. And the reason why I say that is, we have Broderick, Fautanu, and Dan Moore. But what I'm saying is, we have questions about Broderick Jones, which I think he'll get it together. And again, guys, there's a lot of NFL teams that's dealing with this. So I'm not saying this is exclusive to the Steelers, but it's just something to talk about as a fan base. There's not a lot of guys that you feel comfortable coming in. Like, look at that preseason game tonight, man. Not a lot of guys that you feel comfortable with. Look, my good brother Tony is calling me right now. He must don't know I'm on the show. Just not got a lot of guys you feel comfortable with. What else y'all got, man? Robo says exactly. The third stringers and fourth stringers all need to be cut. We're not deep at all. Yeah. Dragon Jay-Z says, I don't think the depth is the issue. I'm more concerned with the lack of player development of guys who more or less aren't stars out the gate. Let me ask a question, Dragon Jay-Z, and I'm not disputing your statement. I'm just asking a real question, and this applies to all of us. You know, we say that a lot. I've been guilty of saying that as well, that, coaches are not developing these guys. But here's a question. When do we accept that it's the player and not just the coach? Because if we use that logic, that would be like we're expecting every single player to develop. You understand what I'm saying? Because trust me, we see this across the league. Look at all these other teams. On every team, there's guys that just, that's how you feel about them, man. You know what I mean? Across the league. So I don't think that's still a specific thing. And the reason why I say that is we can't identify it. There's nothing that we can do to identify whether a guy developed or not. Like, for instance, are we going to say that the coaches developed Nick Herbig or Keanu Benton? Hell, TJ Watt. Remember, TJ Watt was supposed to be a project. He was rough coming out of Wisconsin. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking what you're saying. I'm just saying it's I try to caution myself for always going to a logic, right? Like saying, this is the reason why, or that. Because truthfully, sometimes it comes down to just talent. It really just comes down to talent at times. That's a fact. And it's easy for us to say it's the development, but we don't know. That's all I'm saying is I can't say that because I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no way to say that, because if I wanted to believe that in my mind, then that would be like me saying that every player that don't turn out didn't get developed, and that cannot be the case. That absolutely can't be the case. Yeah, and exactly. See, Mark agrees, like TJ Watt. You know, so it's almost like I don't want to get caught up in, and again, don't take this the wrong way, anybody who feels like that. I don't want myself to get caught up in when I see it work, then that's when the only time I'm saying, they got developed. I don't want to do that. It's the same reason why I don't believe in that old saying, coach didn't have them ready to play. I don't believe that. I never believed that on any of the 32 teams. Now, maybe some coaches, but I'm talking about any of these guys, whether it's Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick. I'm going to name all the guys that we knew. Peyton, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, which it ain't often you say that about Andy, but I've heard it about Andy as well. Times that they lost. Sean McVay, any of these coaches. I just don't like when people say he didn't have them ready to play. There's no way you're going to get me to believe that they're not coaching and preparing the same way every week. But yeah. Right. That's a fact. Why TJ did pop early, but that's what all I'm saying is, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't want anybody else to change how they feel. All I'm saying is, what are we using to quantify when somebody has been developed? What metric can we identify and say, see, they got developed? There's no way for us to prove that it was the coach only that did that, or if it was the coach along with player, or if it was a lack of player skill. That's all I'm saying. So I kind of stay away from those things that I can't prove. I might make a blanket statement and say, man, it just don't seem like guys develop well here. Cool, but I can't prove that. Yeah, I'm with you, Walter. How do you get anybody, a grown man? I just don't believe that, man. And fans, we run to that so easy. Man, he ain't had them boys ready to play. You supposed to have them ready. And dog, stop. I just don't believe that. Not at the NFL level. Fully agree. Fully agree with what Kenyon is saying. At the NFL level, man, it's got to be part of you too. You know, it ain't all the coach. Because the thing about it, guys, and again, step away from just the Steelers. Think about how many times we've heard other coaches say something to a player. Like, we've heard Bill Belichick, who is arguably one of the best, or if not the best coaches in NFL history in terms of achievements, right? We have heard clips where he's laying a guy out. You're not going to tell me that Bill Belichick and his staff defensively didn't do all they could to develop a player. Homie just ain't panning out. You see what I'm saying? That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's hard to prove it, man. It's hard to prove it. But that's all I got. That's all I got. I don't think there's anything else left to say. I don't think there's much left to say. Other than that, man, listen, preseason is over. Let's see how they cut down that roster. Help me out, guys. Refresh my memory. When does the final roster have to be locked in? It's not this weekend, right? Is it the week before season starts? Can't quite remember. Can't quite remember when they have to lock it in, but we'll find out who makes it, man. I just think, like I said, right now I'm looking at about 35 of them players, maybe stretching to 38 that I could say, all right, we could work with this. That back half, from, if I'm being modest, from 39 to 53. Womp, womp, womp. But all right, man. Y'all know the routine, man. If you like the video, just do me the favor of liking the video. Y'all have no idea how much that helps. Please, like the video. If you care to donate, it might be too late to do it here on YouTube. So if you prefer to do it directly, Cash App, PayPal information is in the description. Other than that, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well and turn on that notification bell so you know when videos like these are live or pre-recorded videos have been uploaded. Other than that, man, I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. The rest of it, go have some fun, watch some TV, watch some more football, enjoy your partner, whoever that may be. Just have yourselves a nice rest of the weekend, man, and be safe out there. Stay healthy. God bless. Good night. Like always, thank y'all for tuning in. And I shall catch you guys on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday. See you then. Peace.